So today I want to start to get into the S files. S files are your first, in my opinion, true layer to customizing your image bulletin board system. With the S files, you can make them in an ASCII file, you can make a ANSI file for your PC and Amiga users, and of course you can make a Commodore color graphics file using PETSCII graphics and colors. The S files are also what they're going to see when they first log onto your bulletin board. They're going to see them when they log off, when they go into your upload downloads or go into your message boards or subboards, even when they go into the mail system and many other parts of the BBS. So with the S files, you can already start to create a lot of customization of your bulletin board system, and it's really not that hard to do. In this video, I just want to introduce you to them and show you some quick little ways to edit them, and that way you can start to get familiar and take off from there. So with all that said, let's get started. Alright, so first thing is I want to show you some of the S files. And to do that, what I'm going to do over here on my image system, I'm just going to get into the file copy program within the BBS. But this time I'm not going to log into the BBS. I'm going to do it straight from the waiting for call screen. So to do that, I'm going to do Shift-C, and that'll bring up the copy program. And there we are. So here, first thing I want to do is let's go take a look at our drive where the S files are and explain a little bit of that. On my computer here, they're going to be on device 8, drive 3, and I'll just do a search with s.asterisk, and I want to address, let's go with the login file. So I'm going to do LO* to show me all my S files for login, and there they are. So you see there are login 0, login 1, login 2, then they repeat again with login 0, 80, login 1, 80, and login 2, 80. And that right there is your big clue. The ones ending in 80, that's for your 80 column users. So if they log in and they're in 80 column, it's going to by default load that file, assuming it exists. So what files or what S files can support 80 column? Well, later I'll show you when we do a full directory, any file you see that ends in an 80, those are the files that will support 80 column. If you try and do a file that doesn't already come on your system with an 80 version, and you try and create an 80 version, chances are it's not going to work. So now what's the difference here between the 0, the 1, the 2? 0 is going to be for your ASCII users. That's the file they're going to see. The 1 is going to be for your Commodore color graphics users. And 2 is going to be your ANSI. And that again is going to be your PC and Amiga users. So to get a better look at these, I'm going to quickly jump over here to a program I used back in the day, and it's very popular still, the Kaleidoscope program. And I'm going to use the Kaleidoscope program to look at the two different files. So let's go take a look at that. Here we are in our Kaleidoscope. This happens to be one of the latest betas that's been floating around out there. This program, and I'll try and put other versions of it for those that like to have the different options on our 8bitboyz.com site under the downloads. So look for that if you're needing it. You can find it pretty much anywhere that has Commodore downloads, but we'll have it as well. So with that being said, first thing I want to do is, this is not really going to be about Kaleidoscope, but just want to do a little housekeeping here, and I'm going to go into their DOS menu, which is the @ key. And on here, I want to make sure I'm going to be pulling the files from the correct drive. Now I'm using the Vice emulator, so on there I have drive 9 mounted, which is a 1581 disk, and that drive is holding a couple sample files. So let's go ahead and make that drive our active drive. I'm going to hit the # and we're going to choose drive 9. And now if I go do a directory, $, there we go. Got our kaleidoscope program on there, but you can see I also brought over the s.login 0 and s.login 1. Those are the primary two we're going to be working with. The two versions on there of the s.login 0, they're the same file. It just got copied on there twice by accident. So let's go ahead and load up the s.login 0 and take a look at it. Back at our main menu, hit L for load. Yes, I'm sure. And I'm going to do s.login 0. Give it a minute to load it up. And now we can display it or edit it. I'm just going to go straight into the display. I don't need to do an edit on it right now. That's a whole nother series. D for display. Looks a little goofy because we're in all uppercase. So if I do Commodore key shift, drops us down to lowercase, and here you can see what's happening. Looks like there's a little bit of a line wrap on that first line that's in the reverse cyan, where it's Image BBS version 3, and you see there's like, it starts off with pound symbol VJ, and then it goes into pound back arrow 1 2. Those are all your MCI codes, and you'll find those codes are pretty accurate in the Image BBS manual that we have available on the 8bitboys.com website. You can download it there or even view it online in our library. But those codes are all on there to give you reverse, give you colors, special characters, effects, etc. Some of those MCI codes also bring in data variables from within the BBS environment. You see where it says welcome to, and then it has pound V5. That's going to display your BBS name. Then it's going to show you it is now pound V0, that second to last line there, give you the current time and date. And then the last caller was V pound 9. Again, that'll show you the handle of who was the last caller to the BBS. But again, this is just all in ASCII, and you will notice there is some color on there. That's fine. It'll rip that color out because it's not going to be supported on an ASCII computer. Say if you're calling in a PC in ASCII mode or you're using an Atari. However, the MCI codes that do control the variables, those will work. But any MCI codes for colors or effects in an ASCII file, those will pretty much be ignored. So let's get out of here. And now I'm going to go load the s.login 1, and spelling does count. This is going to be the Commodore color graphics file for if you're a Commodore user calling in using the color graphics. And let's bring that up. Again, you'll notice some of the text looks a little goofy. The capital letters are symbols, so we'll do our Commodore key shift, and there we go to lowercase, and there you are. Now, please be kind. This file was created in around, 89, 90 when we ran our original Cat's Alley BBS a lifetime ago. But this gives you an example. Login, or s.login1, is our color graphics file, and here it is. I also used this file. I renamed it to s.login2, and it did a fairly okay job converting to ANSI, because remember, anything that is a 2 is going to be your ANSI graphics file. So they connect on their PC or Amiga using ANSI mode, they would see an ANSI translation of this file. But again, you have to have that file, so that would have been s.login2. So those are your 3 file formats. Now I'm going to switch back to our image screen and kind of show you what files are out there in the S drive that you can modify or might want to start modifying on your BBS to start making it a little more customized. So let's go to that. Alright, so now let's do a directory of our S drive and take a look at some of these S files. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to go through most of them and you're going to get the idea going from there. So we'll do directory, device 8, drive 3, and asterisk. Use my home key, which is also the Commodore key of clear home, to do a pause. There we go, pause the screen. So here's a good one. And this one you'll notice there is, up at the top here, s.chat1, s.chat180, s.chat2, s.chat3. That is breaking our pattern of the 0, 1, 2, 3 for ASCII, Commodore Graphics, ANSI. For the chat file, totally different here. This is where we get a little snarky as a sysop. The chat one is the first screen they're going to see when they go and enter chat mode and you're not available. Chat 2 is the second time they try and initiate a chat and again you're not available. And chat 3 is the final screen they're going to see when they try and keep initiating that chat and you're not available. Back in the day, we used this to kind of elevate, hey, look, buddy, we're not here. Chat 1 would say, paging the sysop's not available, whatever you want. Chat 2 would be more like, well, you paged the sysop, I don't think he's around, so let's try this another time. And then chat 3, you can do all your own colorful wording, would be more of, look, dude, he's not around, stop trying to page him, you're beating a dead horse here. So that's where the chat file is a little different. You see I have one in there with an 80, and that would also indicate you're going to support the 80 column graphics for those people, and that would be chat 1.80, chat 2.80, and so on. Moving on down a little bit, you'll see there is in the middle there s.n0, s.n1, s.n2, then it repeats again for 80 column. S.n180, S.n080, and S.280. Again, 0 would be the ASCII version. The 080 would be ASCII version in 80 column, and so on. So you see we have it for our end file, our login file. We have 3 variants, technically 6 if you count the 80 column. So let's keep going a little bit farther. Okay, we got some welcomes that blew by there. You see towards the top I have welcome 0, welcome 2. There's also a welcome 1. Again, both an 80 column and 40 column, which would be without the 80 in there. Down below you see you got the EM, UD, EM for the email system, the UD for the upload download. You see both 40 and 80 column there. And we'll continue on a little bit more. Here we have the SBs 0, 1, 2, 3, both in 40 and the 80 column. The UX for that upload download area. The VF, that's a whole nother part, more of a sysop function area of the BBS, but again, it's also customizable. That's our view feedback section. And let's continue on. Now we're getting into the new user welcome. That's another good one. That's very important for when you do have those new users. And you got your new user welcome 1, 2, and 3. The various, those you'll notice do not have the 0, 1, 2, or I'm sorry, those do not have the 0, 1, 2. They have the 1, 2, or 3 because now new user, that is the message sent to the new user when you grant them access and approve them to the bulletin board. You can then choose which new user message you want to send them. Some users you might have a different welcome message than you do for other users. Maybe people you know, you have a customized message to tell them, oh, hey, you have access to this area or that area. So you can have many of those, and they just end in the 1, 2, 3. So that way when you are in your BBS approving a new user, it's going to ask which new user welcome do you want to send. And that's where you would select your 1, 2, 3. You're going to see BB menu 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, and that's our bulletin board areas. Those are the different menus. That's where the 0, 1, 2, 3s don't apply. I'm sorry, the 0, 1, and 2 don't apply. The s.nu help, that's for the nuke game. Those are the various different help files, so again, it does not apply there. The convention of what we're trying to follow, which is the 0, 1, 2, 3, or the 0, 80, 180, 280. Those are what you want to look for on your S drive for the files you can customize to start making your BBS be more unique and custom to what you would like it to be. So that is it for those S files. I hope that makes some sense. It can get a little bit confusing because of the other files that have numbers. But again, just remember you're looking for the 0, 1, and 2 files with the same name. And if they have an 80 after some of them, there's your 80 column support for them. So you can use your Kaleidoscope program to edit them. There is a file editor, which I'm not going to get into at the moment. Within Image BBS, you can use that to load them up and do edits, so you don't have to leave the BBS environment. Might get into that in another video, just like the Kaleidoscope. But I hope that explains this S-file convention in their names. And again, these S-files, you got to play with them because they can really customize the look and feel of your BBS. Just those few changes can make a big difference. So I will get out of this screen here, bring us back to our bulletin board, let that load back up to the waiting for call screen. And I hope this S-file video was of some help, helps explain some things, or heck, maybe I just confused you all the more. But either way, remember you have our website, 8bitboyz.com. You can go there to get some of these downloads, whether it's the Image BBS manual for those MCI codes, you need a graphics editor or an S file or a SQL file editor. And we also have our message form on there where you can go and get help and ask questions or research and see if maybe what you're looking for help on is already there and it's already been asked. But anyways, that wraps up this video. I hope it was of some help to some of you out there, and I will try and get more of these out again. So until the next time, take care.